Some maverick freelancers. There's a lot of volatility out there right now. The market is...
Well, hello again. Have you changed your mind about joining Your first assignment demonstrates some of the very qualities we need. Something unexpected, or in truth, unprecedented, has happened at one of our repackaging facilities on Praetor.
If I understand correctly, they're having, something of a workforce issue. Don't know rightly what you call it. Workers are, well, asking for things. It's strange. They've stopped working. The workers there simply stopped.
They expressed, and I know this is going to sound more than a bit strange, dissatisfaction. And they said they won't return to work unless things at the plant improve.
Specifically, they stated, until we meet their demands. As though employees have a right to demand anything of their employers.
Striking? You're saying they're about to turn violent?
Yes, well, if they're this delusional, violence is the next natural step. Who do they intend to strike? Us?
Dear law, what a bunch of devious, ungrateful, greedy little prigs! After all the opportunities Auntie's given them to repay us like this? I'm so disappointed.
So what do you suggest we do about such an utterly unheard of situation? It is absolutely imperative that we get those people back to work, whatever it takes. Negotiate. As in, give in to some of their demands. Won't that set a terrible precedent for others?
No, Ursula, it won't, because we won't be the ones doing it. That is exactly why we've hired you as my brand new perturbation ameliorator. You'll solve the problem for us, and we will retain absolute deniability. No, of course not. We just can't be seen violating a tenet as fundamental to anti-society as employees better do their void-damned jobs.
But you, who are not officially an Auntie's Choice employee, can do whatever you want. Anyone asks about our involvement, and we can disavow it.
Wonderful! You'll go to Praetor, meet the plant's overseer, and mediate an end to this lunacy, which gets those ingrates back to work.
I have zero doubt Auntie and I will be completely impressed by your efforts. Unless you disappoint, in which case I will disavow that statement.
All I know is
Well,
Because they've definitely come back just to see you. Don't let us keep you.
Commander, over here.
Inez, it's Ortiz. Look, I ain't got long. Neither for this message nor for life. I made a mistake. I signed up to get grafted, but it's gone wrong. Should have known when I got to the lab that something was off. It was a secret, they said. We couldn't tell no one. And now my blood's infected and I'm as good as dead. Law, I just wanted to be like you. Throw myself at the problem, wrestle it down. But I should have listened when they told me about how your graft hurt you. How it failed you. I should have reached out sooner. Maybe things would have been different. Please, find that lab on Cloister. It's in an ice cave, but I ain't sure where exactly. They hit it good. Whatever you're doing is, stop them. Don't let them do this to anyone else. Please.
Commander, I ain't sure what to make of Ortiz's message. He's dying. If it's as he says, I ain't got a choice. I gotta find that lab and put a stop to things. Will you help me? Thank you, Commander. Now we just need to find those ice caves on Cloister. We keep our lamps lit, we ought to find the lab without much of a fuss. I hope.
A short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the Matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the Matriarch and First Sovereign are buried, supposedly. It's the Protectorate, Commander. What they say publicly and what is actually true ain't usually the same. Zeb left out the mission parameters, probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the Protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go, if there's time. Much obliged. The sooner we can rendezvous at the tomb, the better. Got the sense that whatever's going down, it's happening now. Turn your lamps on that building. It's on that building there. Reckon that's where we'll be able to get our hands on the rift modulator.
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the Automech factory.
On your command. Lethal measures at the ready. At your word, I shall charge.
You court slow, Commander.
You have my thanks and my...
quite the feat of engineering to keep
Oh there. Approach the gate and identify yourself if you're looking for access. Well, of all the improbable sights I'd never imagined to actually see, folks simply wandering around the Badlands of Praetor would be near the top of that list. I've not the mind to solve the equation that demonstrates how unlikely it is you've survived enemy combatants, hostile critters, and endless lightning in near equal measure. Is that so? Amusingly enough, I'm inclined to believe you, which means you might be just the help Exemplar Simon's been waiting for. He is in the lab atop the hydraulicalized lift. Ironically, the lift was struck by lightning while the station was being reset and is stuck in its raised position. There is a trail that leads to the top. Just mind the jump onto the platform, and don't touch anything glowing, sparking, or obviously shedding lightning on your way there. And given the situation we find ourselves in, I'll be leaving the gate charged unless you're ready to pass through it. Just approach, and I'll power it down for you. Should you ever need to exit the station, just approach the gate.
Greetings, could you be a freelancer? A gun for hire? Might you be interested in a job involving the removal of dangerous creatures? Oh, this is so exciting. I can feel the rate of my blood flow increasing. In that case, please travel to the cave directly southeast of here and exterminate the infestation of raptidons. If you succeed and survive, I'll upgrade your basic entry permissions to allow for purchase of our surplus of supplies.
Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
Please don't take me on a co-tangent.
So, you're the mysterious individual that's caused such a stir across Arcadia? Well, it is my sincerest of pleasures to meet you. I am Exemplar Simon, head of research at this station. Please consider me your personal conduit to this meager, yet profound portion of the universal equation. How may I be of service? That is not a simple question, though I might try to explain it like this. There is an equation for calculating gravity, yes? And the speed of light? And skip drive coordinates? The universal equation uses the purity of mathematics to solve the entire universe. For example, by deciphering the storms of Praetor, we learn invaluable aspects of other phenomena. Originally, the Protectorate designed this facility to control those grounding towers, which are the only thing keeping Praetor's ceaseless lightning from turning us all into ash. And to be sure, that is the only reason Anti or the Protectorate haven't taken this place by force. They are rightly terrified of what happens if this station goes offline. However, neglect during this conflict led to Axons shorting at 5 of the towers, causing gross misalignment. If they aren't realigned, the failures will catastrophically cascade. Wonderful. In order to recalibrate a tower, you must find the malfunctioning panel inside their control room and reset it. And to speed you along, I can offer a unique incentive. Prior to being driven from this facility, the Protectorate was exploring lightning-powered explosives. The concept was clearly beyond them, but I have already solved their errors. So with each tower you align, I can produce a batch of the explosives they theorized, and I would happily share them with you. Indeed. When aligned, each tower fills a capacitor I've modified, which provides me with enough electrical accumulation to fabricate a handful of these explosives. Unfortunately, the capacitors are only able to hold the charge for mere moments before failing catastrophically. Thus, I'm limited in production by the 5 capacitors that remain. So, for each tower you align, I am able to fabricate a handful of these electron explosives, the sum of which I shall share with you. That is fantastic.
Not stay your execution. What if I go and sing? Mediating. Leap. Your vitals look grim, Commander. Ready to take the heat off you. I shall reduce them to a slurry. Rosie, my injuries are not superficial. You have my thanks and my hammer.
You've returned. Are the Raptidons vanquished? Have you completed the job? Oh, incredible. Then, as the prime requisitionist currently at this station, I confer to you upgraded permissions that allow for surplus supply purchases.
Observe that. Stand pat and return your ill-gotten
Unleash my sight upon them! Now you see!
Got a distraction for you. You lot couldn't hit the...
I'm down! Once I can ride!
One hell of a wall. Going over or under's out of the question. What about around?
Thankfully, we've options. I recall a secret passage in the tomb of the matriarch that will see us around the blockade.
You're about to enter territory controlled by Auntie's choice. Act accordingly, or you'll end up as close friends with the inside of a Raptidon. If you have business with Commander Purcell, I suggest you get to it.
Thank you for your
He doesn't
customer service,
wait.
contractor.
You got my begrudging respect, so congratulations.
Not a lot of unfamiliar visages this side of Praetor. Our surplus is available for purchase if you're in need of something. More than happy to oblige.
You there. You came from outside the camp, didn't you? Do you have a minute to take a job? For science, of course. Interested in work? Or was the allure of helping to advance science and being paid for it too much to resist? I'll get right to it then. I need someone to bring me a Gorvid egg. Stars! I'm glad to have found someone who knows not to waste time jawing when scientific advancement is at stake. Some people just don't know the importance of biological research. I sent my assistant off to the north with a tracking device, hoping he'd lay hands on a Gorvid egg. I desperately need that egg for my research. Could you bring me one? Oh, and bring back my assistant, too, if you find him with all his pieces still stuck together. He ain't much good for assisting in research if he's all torn up. Sound reasonable?
Wrangling Raptidons may seem a mite dangerous, but it's a far safer endeavor than being one of Tedford's research assistants.
Thanks for working hard so I don't have to.
That's right, folks. Keep the chanting going. Welcome, fellow disgruntled worker. Can't say I recognize you. You come from a different plant to support our cause? We're causing trouble. We just found out that we're basically slave labor. And now we're learning to stand up for ourselves. We need the proletariat to yield to, worker subjugation by xenophobic proxy? No, that ain't right. But it's something that sounds super fancy when Will explains it. Honestly, we just want to eat, sleep, and relieve ourselves on a reasonable schedule. But the damn overseer, I think she's getting rich off of breaking our backs. I ain't sure how you're gonna get in. This door is barred from the inside, and I don't think there's another way in on the ground floor. That's right, folks!
No more
Keep
bottles
the
on
going.
factory floors!
Time for
unlocked bathroom doors! We don't want to make demands, but no more being cans! With no rest and no downtime, we just pay for Arcadia time!
Appreciate you handling our dirty
So, you sent
Others
by the
get
home
the exact same pay,
Wish I
but
was
only work 12-hour days!
Scarce moon has gotten all kinds of old.
If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates! No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors!
Whatever it is you're after, go looking for it somewhere else.
Ever read the Middle Manager Handbook? Really shores up the foundation.
Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? See that repackaging facility down there? We're supposed to be working it, slaving away for a few meager bits that we then gotta use to pay for our own necessities. They work us like cysty pigs, charge us for the stims we need to yoke those hours, and don't let us relieve ourselves but in empty fizzy tea bottles we keep beneath our stations. So, we're making trouble until that changes. Until we get some respect. Until the privy is left open all day. Can't imagine what. Ain't like you could fix all of Auntie's Choice's hierarchy by your own self. I don't think you could even change this one dumpish overseer ruining our lives. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You look unfortified. Getting enough emulsifiers in your diet?
Venting frustrations don't normally involve, you know, an action. Avoid the strike. They should be after blood.
Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule, and is making me look quite the fool. Unsophisticated, impertinent, dim-witted. You'll fit right in with my peons. So, maybe it'll make sense to you when they babble about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice, and if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences. Nevertheless, here, we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work, and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. Absolutely. These lugs have been positively exalted in the good fortune of rising to their limited station within the meritocracy that Auntie has derived for us. Why? Can you imagine suffering under the yoke of a sovereign's rule, or floundering at the ridiculous direction of those claiming to know the future by way of math? No. Only within Auntie's Choice can these drudges achieve genuine prominence. If they exhibit excessive dedication, they may even earn some modicum of the success I have enjoyed. You're asking me?
That clearly is your domain. Running this invaluable facility on Andy's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer? Dumbly? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. If I'm honest, my gaze is purely focused up the ladder, not down it. I am a very important upper, middle, lower manager, and the way I advance that status scantily involves learning the names and faces of my peons. Their value is in providing their minuscule contribution to this mighty and prestigious corporation. And by providing their maximal effort, they allow me to ascend, vacating this position so that one of their undistinguished masses can fill it, thereby becoming distinguished. Well, that's all fine and good in your system. But here in Arcadia, it is Auntie's needs we cater to, and right now, her need is you convince Dumbly Dunbar to get back to work. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Yes, well, I'm sure you'll manage. Auntie has faith in you, therefore I shall too. Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
No more bottles on factory floors!
Keep the chances
Time
going!
for
I can see
unlocked
the
bathroom
overseer
doors!
coming out. And we're definitely making her miserable!
We don't want to make demands, but no
That's
more
right,
peeing
folks.
in
Keep the
bottles
chances
and
going!
cans!
I can see the overseer up in her office.
If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulants!
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Then what in law's name are you doing here? Well, that certainly is unexpected. And potentially wonderful. Assuming, of course, you can actually help us. And he's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is poor labor retention techniques. What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. It means we're worked like cysty pigs for almost no net gains, while Auntie gets fat on our blood, sweat, and tears. And what's worse, she takes back most of the bit she pays us.
They work 20-hour shifts, which requires stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would still be toiling
under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation due to monstrous mismanagement.
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work, right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You only care about what's best for Auntie. But there are demands all the same. Take them to Griggs. We just want a little decency, a little humanity, a little compassion.
Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12 hours a day. We don't want to make demands, but others get the exact same pay, but only work 12 hours a day.
if it isn't our favorite contractor.
Welcome back, Amelia. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? Hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. I suppose that's true. It wouldn't take much to put enough pep in their proverbial step to make up for 2 lost hours. Their overall productivity might even improve. That would translate into more profit for the plant, which means larger bonuses for me, which should be more than enough to make up for the drop in hourly production. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. What in the void are you talking about? My greed is certainly doing no such thing. What? No! I would never! That's slander. And or libel. And you can't prove a thing. Well, fuck. That's quite the rub, isn't it? All right, what do you want? All right. Though I don't know why you'd waste this capital leverage on benefits for strangers. But I suppose you've got your reasons. Is there more they ask? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. I suppose that is true. They are probably not doing their best work if they are distracted by their biological needs. Fine. They'll be unlocked. But breaks will be unpaid. What more do they want? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for Adrena time!
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? She willing to see reason? Well, I'm not gonna pretend that's satisfying news, but at least we'll have, some relief. That beats, acting like we're holding it all day. What's next? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? Well, that certainly is disappointing. But I suppose we'll manage. An extra 2 hours off a day will make life a little easier, at least. Well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my new friend. With these new conditions, we'll return to work with vigor rather than dread. Thank you.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair cream now, but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her ankles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all. It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
I suppose that ended well enough. But this negotiation would have been much more succinct if one party had simply inflicted grievous bodily harm upon the other.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
I reckon half the corpses in here end up as Raptidon chow.
Yes? And?
I spent some time as a Raptidon training assistant. If I get my finals, I miss little Chompy. I hope he's getting enough to eat.
Back for more? If you're more than...
Seems the invaders seek to keep us out. And if they want us out...
Looks like we're about to have company of the unwanted kind. You've 5 seconds to make plain your intent before I let my boys here pitch some swill at you. 4.
Stay in line, or I'll knock you to the bottom of the org chart.
Have a profitable day.
You look unfortified. Getting enough emulsifiers in your diet?
Troublemaker approaching. See a quantity of the sovereign.
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Hey, got a distraction for you. Come at me. Don't mind me.
Ready to waste them. On your command. Not walking this off. Dying over here.
My thanks and my hammer.
What have we here? You're definitely not a member of my battalion. You best be here on business. My time is valuable. We were working on getting around it by tunneling through a mountain. Unfortunately, work has ground to a halt, extending my deployment on this void-forsaken dirtball. Agreed. But they have no defenses on that side. Why would you defend the side of an unclimbable mountain range? We could catch them off guard and put an early end to this campaign. Our equipment detected some kind of anomaly, mostly vibrations. Until we know what it is, I ordered to stop. Causing a cave-in gains us nothing. Of course not, No, I'm not gonna dig into this right now.
That almost sounded like... Fuck! Mortar fire! Move!
Give the order and I'll take care of it, Commander. Got my lens on an unfriendly.
I shall not stay your execution. None shall stand against us!
Couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter. Private, ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Not getting up without help. I'm a little busy bleeding out if you haven't noticed. Spy, move!
No battlefield decorum. Lethally!
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give us a... That was. Doesn't sound like anything I'd like to meet up close. So, what's an arbiter like to do to keep the horrors at bay?
My preferred technique is to charge directly at them with my hammer aloft. But I've recently become aware of the benefits of forming a proper battle line. Are you being menaced, Niles? If you are in need of an arbiter's aid, I shall lend it forthwith. No crewmate of mine shall be at the mercy of horrors.
I'm touched you go out of your way, but I was asking what you do for fun. Apart from doling out death sentences.
Is eliminating a menace to a colleague not what you would consider fun? Sometimes I wonder about you.
Better if I go unseen.
I require medical assistance.
Initial charge!
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Unleash my might upon them! I am primed to fight! Reduce them to a slurry! None shall stand against us!
Let me know when you needed a strength. Guns cocked and loaded. Look at a few quarters low, Commander.
likely the desired parts are being stored somewhere on the ground floor.
Your execution. Commander. I despise that story, and yet I must.
Commander.
Viscerally. I am primed to punish. Your judgment has found you. Death to the complicit.
Got a distraction for you. Come at me.
Have you made any progress yet? I can barely contain my excitement. Incredible! And to think I sent all those assistants to die for nothing. I should have just sent a heavily armed stranger first. Here's your reward. You've certainly earned it. Now, back to my lab. I'm going to get so many papers published. Every biological researcher will know my name. There's going to be statues of me.
Me. Guns cocked and...
my thanks and my hammer.
Ready to wait. On your command.
Hostile spot! Hostile not.
Now you see it.
I am loath to admit I require mercy.
The broadside of a freighter.
Taking position so I can...
Ready to dispense.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
I shall reduce them to a slurry. To battle! Unleash my might!
Troublemaker approaching.
Trying real hard not to be insubordinate-like, Commander. But this Azza, she ain't right in the head. We got enough to worry about as it is, and adding this much chaos to our little crew can't end well. You sure we ought to be helping her? I'll try to keep an open mind, Commander. But if she comes at me with a knife, I ain't gonna be the one left bleeding. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out.
Commander, a moment of your time, if you would? Commander, I'm glad I managed to intercept you before we left. There's something of utmost importance I wish to discuss. Relax, Commander. You are not under my authority to judge. Though if you were, that phrase alone would have certainly seen you hauled off to mental refreshment. I received a message from a close friend of mine, Virgil. He was my co-protege under the Supreme Arbiter. His message claimed he had information relevant to the Supreme Arbiter's death. He wishes to meet with me at the Vox Relay on Paradise Island. You asked before, and I did not mention it. But with Virgil's message, I now must warn you. Our greatest suspect in the Supreme Arbiter's murder is the Protectorate's consul. Very good. I hope we shall see him at your earliest convenience. I feel this shall most certainly set our investigation into motion.
Means it's authentic. Now with 110% of your daily chemicals and preservatives. Purple berry lunch. There's always time for purple. Time for purple berry lunch. There's always purple berry lunch.
Sorry.
Always
I'm a
remember,
bit busy
commercialism
tonight.
is the foundation of Anti's choice society.
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art.
Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. And he wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important. Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Attitude like that will take you far around here. A few aspirational goals, if possible. If you see a chance to talk their lead scientist into joining us, and/or dig up additional details about the process, do so.
Which is to say, we'll make it more worth your while. I promise you'll never want for compensation while in our employ.
See you when it's done.
In last week's contest between... The heel loafers and spectrum